Just about there. Here we are. We're alive. Back in your homes. You thought we forgot about you. We didn't. We've been thinking about you, dreaming about you, talking about you constantly. You have no idea, but it's been busy in our lives. So, I mean, here we are, Misfit Mondays, back in your homes. My name is Cliff Skeletor. I'm here with my boy, Bobby McIntosh from Dead Celebrity Status. For those of you that have never seen the show before, this is a show where we talk about, pop culture, politics, basically things that are going on in the world and things that, we give a shit about. Sometimes it's some stuff that we don't give a shit about, and we like to talk about why we don't give a shit about it. So, we're happy you're here. This episode's called Misfit Mondays, back with a vengeance. Don't forget to ask questions during the show because we're happy to answer those questions. We answer them all at the end of the show. Bobby, brother,
guess who's back?
I haven't seen
back
guess
again.
Who's back, man?
Handsome Cliff. Tell a friend. Dude, yeah, you're looking good, man. You got more beard happening. So this 2 weeks away was beneficial in terms of your beard. Stoked.
I think so, and I think your beard's looking pretty good itself as well.
Yeah,
so
it's not bad.
we could beard lament. That's a beard compliment. We could beard lament each other all night.
I like that, lament.
Beard lament. But instead, because I'm sure the audience probably really isn't all that interested in that necessarily. So we'll tell people what we've been up to. What about you, Bobby? What have you been up to?
Well, we had a show. We didn't do a Misfit Monday show in between, so I couldn't really talk about it. But we had a show back in London. This was our third time playing there within a year, which is pretty fucking amazing for us. Since before that, we hadn't played like in 7 years. Got to admit, this was probably the best London show we've ever had. The fucking energy in the building was amazing. I was telling everybody who was coming up to me afterwards, the shit was like karaoke. So, you know what I mean? That it always gives you goosebumps when you hear everyone in the place singing the lyrics. So, awesome fucking show. I love London. Can't wait to go back again. It was beautiful.
That's absolutely spectacular. And for those of you that are wondering right now, our buddy Yas couldn't be with us tonight. He's got a lot of stuff on the go. Bud is going to be back with us next week, and we miss him. I miss him too.
Yes, he's a beautiful man. A third man makes it all much more beautiful.
As they say, three's a charm. A lot of threes work. We've got the Three Musketeers, the Three Amigos.
Three's Company.
Three's Company. Three Stooges. What else do we got? There's got to be other ones.
I don't know, but three is a beautiful number.
There was that movie from the 80s. It was a really good one. It was with Chevy Chase, Steve Martin, and who was the other one?
Did it have three in the title?
Yeah, it was with Martin Short, and the three of them, they were gunslingers.
That's amazing.
Oh, no, that was the Three Amigos.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Did I say that one? I said that one. Oh, that was my favorite, Three Amigos as a kid. Good times. And I didn't do any shows in the past little while. I like no concerts, no rap shows. I know that you guys know a lot about my rap career. It's coming along quite nicely since the age of 13. I'm kind of more like, I took the more like slow burn approach, right? I'm really taking my time developing my material before I release it. So
you have that one verse that you've been working on, but I mean, once it's complete, that's 13 years of work into one verse, So that's work. That's putting in work.
Well, I'd say so, right? So really expect a lot when that album comes out. I really would like the expectations to be as high as humanly possible.
Well, I can only speak for me. I'm super excited about that, dude.
Oh, that's fun. That's a fun time. But no, I haven't really been up to a lot outside of work. A lot of work, a lot of stuff going on. Still pushing the brand Constant Aggression with Mitch Gagno, the UFC fighter. That's coming along nicely. We're pumped because we're about 95% sure that he's going to be fighting in Halifax in August. Wait, no,
nice.
that's not right. In October. So we're super pumped about that. So he gets back into training, and then he's calling somebody out. So if you check out his Twitter, go to his Twitter, and you can see that he called somebody out. And what do you think about that? The fact that he's actually calling somebody out for a change.
I fucking love it. I'm a huge fan of that. It shows a lot of passion, and it makes excitement for the fight, right? I actually just seen your post, Mitch's post, and I responded. I told him knockout Caraway, and then bring Misha Tate to me. You know, it's a win-win.
I saw that. That is a nice
Yeah,
request too. I appreciate
I
that
think
about
it's
you as
fair.
well. Yeah,
I think it's fair.
it's a good possibility that's going to be written into the negotiations as well.
Well, that makes me excited. But no, for real though, I'm super excited to watch Mitch fight. Mitch is an exciting fighter. He's a fighter that always fucking brings it, and you can't help but love that. So stoked.
Oh yeah, it's a good time. I mean, he's Canadian, right? So you really wanna root for your Canadian boy.
Yes, sir.
And so something cool is coming up in a little bit, Bobby. What's happening? Let us know. Fill us in. Give us the lawyer.
Yeah, we are going to do round two of our 80s party entitled 99 Red Balloons. So we are super stoked about that. Cliff, you were there last time. You took part in it, and it was a
I
fucking
took part.
awesome night. It was just a yeah, it was just a super fun night. So we want to do it again, bigger, better. We got a lot more ideas, so we're excited to do that. That's gonna happen late August. So it's the long weekend in August. I can't remember the exact date off the top of my head, but we're gonna do it late August in Sudbury again. So should be fun.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good time. I had a good time from what I remember of the show. It was memorable and heartbreaking at the same time.
Well, dude, like I said, remember the after hours party after the 99 Red Balloons party? My only memory is basically in a kitchen talking to Cliff and thinking to myself, I don't know what we're talking about. I don't know what's happening right now, but
But on some level, you knew it was a very interesting conversation, right?
it had to be, dude. I wish someone taped it. You know what I mean? So, like, we actually know what the hell we were talking about.
Yeah. One of those ones where you kind of wish there was a camera recording it, but you're kind of glad there wasn't because maybe, sometimes you see that and you're like, oh no, really? Oh my God, sorry, mom.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. I would prefer no camera around me or you at that time. It's better off just in my imagination. You know what I mean? I can imagine what we were talking about. That's a lot more fun for me.
I would absolutely have to agree with that. But we got to move on to the first portion of the show. And as you guys know, the first thing we like to talk about in our show is our weekly deadlines. So these are kind of like the headlines that are going on. We try to keep it current, we try to keep it contemporary, but every once in a while there's something else we want to talk about, and that's just kind of the way we roll. And we're not going to apologize for it. Just kidding.
I like that. No, I like that.
No, you like that kind of confidence, don't you?
I do.
So one of the things that's happening, and we're kind of talking sports here today because we love to talk sports. It's always a good time. It's an interesting topic. And we're talking basketball news. So Mr. LeBron James has decided to return home to Cleveland, to the Cleveland Cavaliers, a place where just a couple of years ago, he basically left this team and they were burning his jerseys because of the way they felt betrayed. I mean, fans of sports in certain cities, they get hurt, right? They get hurt deep. And they were pretty hurt by this, but now he's returning home. So, Bobby, what do you think about this, and what do you think this does for his legacy?
Well, like you said, when he left, he was there for 7 years. He's for people who don't know, he was born and raised in Akron, Ohio. So Akron, Ohio, Cleveland built him as a basketball player. So he played his first 7 years in this city, and then free agency came up. And what he did is he went on ESPN, national media, and said he's leaving. He's going to take his talents to South Beach, Miami. Went to go play for Miami Heat. Cleveland Cavalier fans felt spurned by it. Started burning his jerseys. just spewing hate. It was fucking crazy. So he leaves, he goes to Miami, wins 2 titles in 4 years, which is pretty phenomenal, to tell you the truth. But now he's going back home. And as for his legacy, I really do think that winning one title for the Cleveland Cavaliers, who haven't won a title in all their sports franchises in years, that one title would be worth 2, 3, 4 titles in Miami. I think it'll cement his legacy as something a little bit bigger than just titles. So I'm excited for him to go back to Cleveland. Super stoked about it. And we'll see, man, if he has a shot to win the title. But I think it's a good decision, and it reverses all the hate and maybe the bad decision and the way he handled it the first time. I think it kind of erases that. So,
Do you think they're going to welcome him back with open arms, though?
they already have. They already have. I mean, his jerseys are sold out. Let's not forget like the economic impact that it has on a city like Cleveland. Cleveland, I don't know if many of listeners, maybe they're from there or have been there. I've been to Cleveland. It's not a pretty sight, that city. They struggle economically, and having LeBron James coming back, just economically, the impact that will have will be incredible for the city. He drives a lot of money into the city, so it's a big deal beyond
It's
basketball.
unbelievable. Yeah, it's unbelievable that one person could have such a giant impact on the economy of a city.
Yeah, exactly. And he's the probably the one of the world's most famous athletes right now. So it's good for the city of Cleveland, good for LeBron James, good for the NBA as well. So props to
Well, that's
LeBron.
good
We'll see
news.
how it goes.
And I'm going to use that as my segue to transition into the other sporting topic that we want to talk about. And there was a UFC this weekend. And speaking of an athlete that is beginning, this is an athlete that's very early in his career, and Conor McGregor, who's transcending the sport and really being a huge drive economically for his entire country of Ireland.
Yes,
What were your
sir.
thoughts? First, let's start. What was your thoughts on the event itself?
I was fucking blown away. First of all, the arena in Ireland only holds 8,000 people. Okay, so just to make a comparison, when the UFC comes to Toronto and they play at the Air Canada Center holds about 20,000 people. Did you fucking hear how loud that place was for 8,000 people? It sounded like literally like it was 80,000 people in that arena. I could not
Well, that's what.
believe. Yeah, I couldn't believe the passion like that those fans have, like the real fight fans. Fucking incredible to witness.
Yeah, it's absolutely wild. This is the first event where they actually measured the decibels, and
They did.
I don't know what it was. I believe it was like, I don't even know what the measurement was, but apparently it was extremely high and beat out a lot of rock concerts, which is, pretty wild considering, right?
Well, yeah, yeah. Dana White said, I don't know if this is exact numbers, but say like a rock concert is like 102 decibels, right? Once again, I don't know the exact numbers, but he said this event is like 103, so it was like 1 decibel louder than an actual rock concert. It was pretty fucking crazy, dude.
Yeah, I remember him saying something in that vein.
Yeah.
But now speaking about Conor McGregor himself, a guy who is relatively new to the UFC. This was only his third fight. He was headlining it. He had an entire country backing him up. I think that the amount that he has spoken has built a lot of hype and has put a lot of pressure on his rising star because he talks a big game. He's so super entertaining. But what do you see for the future of Conor McGregor?
Well, I could say this. Firstly, Conor McGregor. Listen, in any sport, there comes along an athlete, a decade athlete, like within a decade, that just has that it factor. It goes beyond fighting. And Conor McGregor, to me, has like that it factor. He could be a superstar, right? Not a lot of fires. I think Ronda Rousey has that same thing too.
Yeah.
It's just that it factor that just puts you head and shoulders above the competition in terms of being able to make people believe in you and sell a fight and make people want to watch you. So he has a huge star quality. As for his fighting, I think he's a great fighter. he hasn't been tested yet to me though. I would like to kind of hold reservation on him until he's tested with a top 10 guy, top 5 guy. Until then, I think when he does that, if he can knock out a top 10 guy or take out a top 5 guy, the buzz will get even bigger, right? Because the fighting and the winning has to back that up at some point. But right now, he looked phenomenal, dude. Like, and he's coming off a ACL injury, a tear. Like, he looked
Oh,
fantastic.
yeah, that's a wild industry injury, the same one that George St. Pierre had.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, he looked. Yeah, I agree with you completely. He looked great. He moved up in competition, and he made it look easy. But again, we're not in the top 10 yet for him.
Exactly, exactly. What I do love about him though is even with that fight that you've seen, he took chances. Do you know what I mean? He actually did. He takes chances with his fighting style. So that could lead to him being knocked out for sure. He's not
Well,
really a
that's
safe fighter, but
yeah.
it's what makes him exciting, right? So
It's the same thing that made Anderson Silva so exciting. Now, I don't want to change the topic here because I could talk about this all night, but I'm going to transition. One thing earlier on in the show I told Bobby to pay attention to is I decided to play a classic 80s movie in the background because Yas did it on that one show, and I think it was just so much fun for us, even though it was, a little bit distracting at the time. But I didn't tell Bobby what the movie is. And Bobby's got to guess what the movie is when he knows it, when he feels he knows it. But in the meantime, I'm just letting it play in the background. So anybody watching the show right now, if you're able to guess what movie is playing back there, you're gonna get a high five from me the next time I see you.
okay, and this is an '80s film, right?
This is an '80s film.
Yeah. See, I'm having a
So
hard. Oh, you know what, dude? I could barely see the screen, and I got it.
okay, wait, then hold it then. Maybe give people a little bit of time then. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna post something on the Facebook page, just saying, can you guess what movie's playing in the background right now? We'll see if anybody can guess, and then I'll let you hold on to yours because you're not looking at the Facebook page right now. And then
Mm,
after Smash or Trash, I'll ask you if you guess it or got it.
perfect. That's crazy, dude. I could barely see it, and I just seen one scene in with the lockers. There's two girls standing by the lockers, and I'm like, yeah,
You know it, right? I
yeah,
mean, I figured you. Yeah, we're all suckers for those '80s movies, eh?
yeah, dude. It's just, and it's funny because like the '80s movies are just like the same movie recycled. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Pretty much like the
Yeah,
same story, same
yeah.
exact story over and over, but it gets me every time. And the
I just
soundtrack,
love it.
obviously. Yeah, dude.
Yeah, it's the simplicity of it. It's kind of like old video games too, right? The simplicity of it. It really speaks to my heart, right? It
You
really
got
speaks
it.
to me. All right. That being said, it's time for us to get into Smash or Trash. And for those of you that have never watched the show before and you're asking yourself, what is Smash or Trash? Well, let me tell you, I'm excited to tell you. Smash or Trash is the portion of the show where we come up with 8 random things and we ask Bobby and Yas when he's here, but Bobby today, what he thinks. If he thinks it's a smash or if he thinks it's a trash. Now, keep in mind, he's never heard any of these before, so he's kind of coming up with his answers, on the spot. So, give him a little leeway. I know you guys get hard on him sometimes.
So much hate, dude. It's a
Yeah, I
it's a
know. It's just
hate-filled world, dude.
sending you so much hate mail. But what we've decided to do, because where we are, it's so boiling. It's very hot right now, and that's not complaining at all. That is pure excitement about it. But in my opinion, there's very few things that are funner to do when it's boiling hot outside than to drink icy cold beer. So I decided
Yes.
that we would have the topic be beer related. And so I'm going to name some beers and some beer related stuff, and he's going to tell me whether or not it's a smash or a trash. You ready for this?
Let's do it.
Did I appropriately introduce the topics here, the smash or
Dude, you did
trash?
you did such a wonderful job. It was like You made me want to drink like a beer commercial. Do you know what I mean? With the when they show the mug and then it's you get that little bit of beer coming over the top. That's what your words did. That's how good you did with that intro.
That is single-handedly the best compliment I've ever gotten in my entire life. I'm I'm tearing up right now. I'm not gonna lie. Whew. All right, let's get into this. If I gotta move topics. All right, so number one, smash or trash, and I'll just starting off, with a beer. Smash or trash to Molson Canadian.
Smash, smash. It's
Let me know
Canadian
how you.
beer. It's Canadian
Okay.
beer. Yeah, it's actually one of the first beers I drank in my entire life. I think going back. Uh, I'm from up north. Cliff's from up north. It's a very popular beer up north. So smash to Molson Canadian.
Just so you know, I go back there every once in a while just to post the photo on the Facebook page. I'm not being a jerk and just ignoring them. Uh, yeah, yeah. I'm gonna say, just to play the devil's advocate, I'm gonna say trash. And the reason being, it's not. It's. I know, right? It's because it's not one of my go-to beer. It's not a beer. And again, listen, if Molson Canadian's there, I'm gonna drink it and I'm gonna love it. But because we have to play this game, Smash, Cult Smash or Trash, I have to go one way or the other. And Molson Canadian is absolutely not the beer I will get. And it's not for any other reason that I think a lot of beer drinking is habits. You get yourself in the habit of just asking for a certain type of beer, right? And I have
You're right.
different beer that I drink at different locations too. I have certain locations. Every time I walk into this place, I'm always ordering a certain type of beer that I know they offer. So
Mhm.
I'm trash on
Okay, quick question. Do you
it.
drink a different beer as when you go to the bar, or you buy a case of beer to bring home? Do you get the same beer, or is it a different beer?
Bizarrely enough, no, I don't know if it's that bizarre, but I really don't buy cases of beer to go home with very often, and that's a
Mhm.
little bit of a bad thing because it just costs me more money at the bar, right?
Yeah, totally.
Which is always, yeah, always unfortunate, right? Um, but for the most part, yes, because the beer that I would buy at the beer store wasn't offered in enough bars. And
Gotcha.
if you're curious, yeah, if you're curious what it is, because it's actually not on the list, it's Sleeman's Clear. I love Sleeman's Clear.
Nice.
Yeah,
Good answer.
so that's all right. So moving on to the next one, number two in Smash or Trash, women's portrayal in beer commercials. I gotta post that.
Women's portrayal in beer commercials. Super trash. Obviously, it's catered to a very masculine demographic and objectifies women. I'm never really cool with that, so I'm gonna give it a super smash. A trash.
Oh, I was like, ooh, changing it up. Super trash. Uh, all right, so I'm gonna give
You
you
gonna
two
play devil's
different
advocate
reasons.
on that
I'm
one?
not really. I'm gonna give it a big trash. Of course, I have to agree that it's a trash.
Right.
When I was a young man, it was a huge smash because I thought that's the way the world worked. But that is the reason why now, as an adult, I give it a trash because now I realize that that was just trying to create this idea of the way the world worked for me, and also for women, or young girls at the time coming up, how to here's how to not feel good about yourself, or here's what your worth is,
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
it's tough, man. It's really there's a fine line, right? So, yeah, big topic, but I'm glad I snuck it in there. Number three, smash or trash to a beer called Czechvar.
Beer called Czechvar.
Yeah.
Okay, firstly, I've never heard of the beer. I've never tried it, so I'm gonna have to ask you a question. Is it a dark beer or a light beer?
Light beer.
Smash. I'm gonna give it a smash
You're gonna
because
give it a
right now
smash?
it's yeah, because right now super hot in Toronto, and that beer is kind of creating like this little mystery thing for me. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like a want what you can't have, and I definitely want to try that right now. So smash.
Yeah. So go out and find it. Check VAR. And like I said, the beers that I drink, and I'm giving it a giant smash, a thunder smash. I just made that one up right now. Did I?
I
Have we
like
done
it.
that one before?
Thunder.
Thunder smash. And the reason being is it's one of those beers where it's very much it's appropriate to where I go. So for example, there's this bar slash restaurant in Sudbury called the Laughing Buddha. People from Sudbury know this place. People that come visit, know this place. It's just awesome, right? Just a beautiful place. Have you ever been, Bobby?
Yes, multiple times. It's actually
Okay.
one of my favorite spots in Sudbury, and I could see that beer being sold there. Just a different type of crowd at the Laughing Buddha, so I could see that beer being sold there as opposed to like the Trevi, where it's like a working class uh, come home after work and have a beer. They're not drinking that, so I could see that.
Yeah, I guess that's what the Buddha tries to do is take different tastes from around the world and really like kind of expose
Yeah.
Sudburyans to it. And it's a nice mix, right? You kind of have to have those different balances within a city, and they do a great job. And they have a lot of different options there. And yeah, Czech bar is one of my favorites. That's what I order. It's one of those things where I almost don't want to change it because when I walk in there, they see me, and there's nothing like them walking up and handing you without you even asking, and it's the beer you want. Isn't that a beautiful feeling?
Well, dude, everybody wants to be Norm. Do you know what I mean?
Well, everybody
Norm
wants
from
to. Well,
Shoes.
no, I like being Cliff. I like being Cliff, but I don't have a lot of facts, so it doesn't work well.
Actually,
And
yeah, you are
my,
Cliff. There is a Cliff.
I know
So, yeah, and I like Cliff's one of my favorite characters. So, good calling that.
he's awesome. He's all about the. Every time I go places and people hear my name, they're like, "Where's Norm?" I'm like,
Yeah,
you,
awesome,
you.
awesome.
Yeah. Well, it means one of two things, right? One, that they like you and they know you, everywhere everybody knows your name, number one. Or the other thing is that you're just an alcoholic. that's
But an entertaining alcoholic, nonetheless.
always the goal. All right, moving on to the next one. Number 4, smash or trash to the beer. Schmitz Gay.
Schmidt's gay. Dude, you're popping these beers out of nowhere. Um, once again,
Okay.
never heard of Schmidt's gay, but I'm intrigued. Now, once again, is it a dark beer or a light beer?
It's a how do I put this? It's a uh, hold on. Let me do this really quickly. I'm not judgmental, all right. I think that I'm happy for I'm not. Remember that episode of Seinfeld where they would say something
From the episode.
and people
Yeah.
thought that there's anything wrong with that. Do you know
Yeah,
that?
not that there's anything wrong with that.
Exactly. Well, that's what I think about that beer. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but Schmidt's Gay is, as the title says, gay. I don't know if you remember on Saturday Night Live. It's a skit from Saturday Night Live with uh, Adam Sandler and Chris Farley,
Yeah.
and they basically go to this backyard and then they crack their beer. The backyard has this pool and it's all like busted up and like brutal. And then they crack their beer, their Schmidt's Gay beer, right? Remember they used to do those commercials and they felt completely real. And then all of a sudden there was just men everywhere like massaging them and dancing and basically, showing men the way beer commercials show women.
Nice. So they reversed it. Smash to that beer. Just on that little story that you told me, I
But
am
it's not
smashing
a
it.
beer that actually. Yeah, it's not even a beer that exists, right? It's just it's a funny Saturday Night Live beer commercial that they did.
Even better.
I'll
Smash
have
to
to figure.
Schmitz. Say that 10 times quick.
That's not an easy one. I think I spelt it wrong too. So either way, it's not an easy one to spell. I'll send you the skit because you really need to see it. I'll move on to the next beer, which is, in fact, a real beer. At number 5, Smash or Trash to Rickard's White.
Super fucking smash. I am a huge fan of Rickard's White. I like the little orange too.
That's
Yeah, I'm a
one of the
fan of
best
it,
parts.
dude. Yeah, actually, for a while I went through like, you know how you said like you get into this phase where you drink like just one beer all the time. Well, I
Yeah.
went through my Rickard's White phase. I went through my Rickard's White phase for like a nice strong year, and it was a good year. So super smash to Rickard's White.
I love it. I love your answer. Um, yeah, Rickard's White is absolutely delicious. I mean, my favorite part was before the show when I was like, Bobby, I'm thinking because I'm boiling hot, all I could think about is beer. That I'm just gonna do the smash and trash on beer because I'm not functioning the way that I could think of anything else, right? And Bobby's like, Cliff, he's like, I'm just gonna smash every single one. You know that, right? And I'm like, yeah. So I've tried to throw some curveballs in there. We got one trash out of the deal. Women's betrayal and beer. So next beer on the chopping block.
Yeah, but it wasn't about the actual tasting of the beer.
Yeah, I wish. How cool would that be if we were doing a live testing of the beer? We had them all here.
Dude,
Um,
that sounds like a
Smash
show
and
to me.
trash. Oh, that we got to do that show from top to tail, my friend.
Well, let's
I'm
do it. We
in.
should have a
Sold.
special like we should do like a special Friday night episode. Before either of us go out for the evening or
Oh,
whatever. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And and maybe then the fun part before we go out, then when we get home, that's the continuation of it, and then the next show is first thing. It shows all of the levels, right?
Yeah, all three levels. Totally down for that.
Yeah. My favorite line that I heard recently is actually I think it was Kenny Florian posted that. Former UFC fighter posted, whenever you're drinking, or every drink you take, you're just stealing a little bit of happiness from tomorrow.
That's good.
Isn't it brilliant?
It's good. It's on point. It's true.
I've
Mr.
never
Florian.
felt good the next day. All
Yeah.
right. And I hope that you've seen these. My number 6 for Smasher Trash is the Sapporo beer ads.
I haven't seen the ads.
You haven't seen the ads. Oh, man. Okay,
No.
okay. Well, in that case, you could just take a wild guess on whether it's awesome. I'll tell you. You've never seen the commercial where they're hitting the drums and then the camera keeps going up?
No. No. I
Uh,
totally want to though. Now.
I really want you to see it. Um, but you could watch it after the show, and then you could go on the Facebook page and you could post since you didn't have an answer right now. You could go on and you could post under your name and just say what you think of it.
We're on point, dude. I
Quick
was just
ad.
thinking that. Yes, sir.
Awesome. I love it. We're right here, man.
In sync. Jedi. Jedis.
Completely
Two
in sync.
Jedis.
Yeah, I love it. All right. Final number 8 in our 8 pack. I like it. I call it an 8 pack. They sell it.
No, they should, because that's like the perfect.
Me too. For me, that's the perfect amount. That lasts me the entire night. I could offer a beer out to a person, and it's not that big of a deal. And then 7 for
I like that. I like that, and it's not that big of a deal for people watching. Like I said at the starting of the show, we're like from northern Canada, this place called Sudbury, Ontario, and beer is a very important thing there. We're very protective of each beer. We used to
me
we
too.
used to go to parties. We used to go to parties. Me and all my friends who we're friends, so you think we should trust each other, but we would literally always, after we open a beer, keep our beer caps so we could count how many beer we actually drank. because people used to steal each other's beer. That's how serious we took the shit.
Yeah, there was a whole system to it, and the value of beer changes throughout the course of the night, right? I mean,
Oh,
obviously it's a supply and demand type of situation. It's simple economics.
it is. The later it goes, the more value that beer has. You know, sometimes even
Very much so.
yeah, sometimes people would even come to blows. You know what I mean? Over one
Oh,
single
there was
beer.
some, and people thought they were smooth. They would snake a beer from you and then rip the labels off, and you knew. You didn't know
Yeah, yeah, the rip the labels trick. Yeah, that's a
the
good one.
old rip. Didn't work on us though, hey Bobby? We were too smooth,
No,
man.
no, sir.
All right, our final one, number 8. I could go on about that forever too, man. Number 8 in Smash or Trash. I'm bringing a movie into this one, man. The movie
Nice.
Strange Brew, Bob and Doug McKenzie.
Ah, super fucking smash to super Canadian smash to Strange Brew. Obviously, that movie is a classic, a Canadian classic, and I think it captures like how Canadians are in terms of brew. Fucking dude, I haven't heard of that. I haven't thought about that movie in a long ass time. I am ecstatic that you brought it up.
I almost want to find the movie, get a case of beer, an 8-pack of beer, and invite one friend over that I will share one beer with, and watch Strange Brew.
I
And then
I
later,
I love the idea, and I'll come over later. Uh,
okay,
I will steal one of your beers. I will rip the label off.
yes, I will check my beer cap count in my pocket, and then we will come to
Well,
blows.
yeah. Well, I'll say that you added an extra cap from somewhere. You mean?
Yeah, and that's where the argument starts. It leads to blows, which which ultimately leads to lovemaking.
Yes. Yes, sir.
And while we drink our Schmitz gay beer, for some reason we found a case of that.
Schmitz, yeah, from somewhere.
Yeah. Like, where'd that come from? I don't know. I don't know what's
That's
going on.
crazy.
All right, well, that's the end of Smash or Trash, man. We finished off our 8-pack in record time. Starting to feel a little bit of a buzz, but before we move into the Q&A portion of the show, I don't know why I'm pronouncing everything like that. Before we move into the Q&A portion of the show, it's like I'm a 1930s radio jockey.
I love it. I like 1930s Cliff. I was always a fan of 1930s Cliff.
Coming down the line is Buckwheat 40 coming in the last final lane. Coming up.
You know my favorite Cliff is though.
Which one?
Since we just did Smash or Trash on beer is Drunk Host Cliff. That's my favorite Cliff, I think. No, I have two
Yeah, yeah.
favorite. I have three favorite Cliffs. Check this out. Drunk Host Cliff. Okay. After Hours Cliff.
I don't know.
And then my ultimate probably favorite is Midway Cliff.
That cliff hasn't existed in a long time. That
Yeah, but
smooth walk
that
turned
cliff
into
was
like
smooth.
you got a smooth walk, that kid, man. Smooth walk turned into a limp. Bad hip, just broken and decrepit, hunched over.
Yeah, dude. It's not the same.
Yeah, showing magic tricks to kids.
In a white van.
Things have gone weird.
Yes.
Definitely gone. So since we're at the end of Smash or Trash, Bobby, you're up, buddy. I think we gave them enough time to try to guess. Hey, let me check the page right now. Before you guess, I'm going to see if anybody guessed. I'm going to go on here and see if anybody guessed. Oh, we got some good comments on Strange Brew.
Nice.
Charles says the effort of the commercial deserves a smash. I think one of our favorite parts of the show, Bobby, is when we get to go back and look at the comments afterwards on like the posts, right?
Yeah, dude. Instantly after I'm done, that's what I do. I head over to the Dead Celeb Facebook page and check the comments
Yeah.
because everybody has such varying opinions and very passionate opinions, right? Like sometimes they even argue within the comments, and I like that. It's cool. I like to see that
Oh,
kind of passion.
yeah, that's one of the greatest parts of I think this show is honestly watching organically, kind of somewhat organically, these conversations just build and build, right, and go in all these different directions.
Yeah, exactly.
Uh, we have we have one guess and it's wrong from Pam Stanatus. Sorry, Pam, you're wrong. 16 Candles is her guess. All
You're
right,
way off,
so
Pam. You got heart
you're
though.
up. Yeah,
That
let's
movie
hear it.
is a movie called Can't Buy Me Love. It was filmed in Arizona. See, it was filmed in Arizona. I
And
know that because we were on tour in the States, and my friend TJ, who you know, Cliff, flew
yeah,
out to come on tour with us. And he told me, he's a huge fan of Can't Buy Me Love, so he told me, yo, this is the city where it was filmed. I think it was Tucson, Arizona. Awesome fucking movie. Ronald and the African Anteater dance. Dude,
yeah,
classic.
yeah. I was like, it's a classic, and it really created a type of genre of film that's been imitated so much since, right?
Yeah, dude, it's awesome. I actually a couple weeks ago I went on IMDb and I was searching the actors from this movie just to see what they're up to now.
Patrick Dempsey, man, McDreamy.
Yeah, he blew up from it. But
Yeah, well, he
the
did.
main girl, the main girl, she stopped acting. She had
She
a
did,
couple
eh?
other, yeah, she had a couple other roles in like the 80s, maybe early 90s, and then she kind of just disappeared.
I had to look back to see her. I don't even fully remember, to be completely honest with you. Yeah, Patrick Dempsey, he went on. He's McDreamy in Grey's Anatomy. He kind of disappeared for a while, then came back. Seth Green was the little
Yeah,
brother,
Seth Green's in there, yeah.
the annoying little brother. Yeah, good movie, man. Just a good time.
Dude, super dope movie.
I should just like turn around, turn the volume up, kick my feet up, and forget it. That's it. That's the show. There we go. We're good. Or not. I can't be.
Nice,
Let me get
Ronald.
Ronald. There he is. All right, let me get into the Q&A portion of the show where people, you guys get to ask us questions, and we try to answer those questions if at all possible. The first question is from our good friend Justine Giles, and I like this question. It's very appropriate to the show we just had. What's your favorite summer beverage?
Shout out to Justine. My favorite summer beverage is beer. A very cold, cold, cold beer. Yes,
Yeah.
preferably like on a patio somewhere. You can't beat that,
Some
I don't think.
No, I don't think so. I think after this show, I'm gonna wander over to a patio and have a beer. So if you guys are in Sudbury, look around, check out the patios. I'm probably gonna be sitting on one of them by myself, crying,
Nice.
crying.
Crime.
I'm, I'm a cry. I'm a cry. What's your favorite non-alcoholic beverage, Bobby?
Non-alcoholic beverage. Good question. I like I like coffee.
Okay,
Like a latte or coffee. Yeah.
that's
That's
fair.
extreme. Like hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like the extreme of what I was just talking about. But
Yeah, it's even hard for me to think of hot. For me, like on a really hot day, I love to have like a nice cold frosty filled with halfway up with ice glass of iced tea.
that's nice too.
It's a beautiful drink.
American iced tea or Canadian iced tea?
Ooh, there's a good question. Homemade iced tea. I like it a lot, so I don't know the difference between the American and the Canadian version.
Okay, in the U.S., like if you go to a restaurant, their iced tea is not sweetened. It's actual just cold tea. Here in
Yeah.
Canada, we sweeten our iced tea. Big difference. So
Okay, yeah, there is a big difference. There's
I like
actually
mine
another
sweetened.
place inside. Yeah, I like it a little bit sweetened. I go one place. I go to another place in Sudbury called La Boulangerie, which I murder it when I
Mm.
try to say it the normal way. So I just say the cheese. In Sudbury, they do their iced tea that way, and I love it, man.
Dope.
Delicious, delicious. Next question, Pam Stanatus. What is the most memorable gift you have ever received? The gift of life.
The gift of life. Um, yeah, that's a tough question. I'm gonna have to go back to like say when I was like 10 or 11, getting a knitted sweater from my grandma. And the reason it's memorable is because it was such a heartfelt gift to give every single year. Uh, but it was so ugly, and I would have to wear it only when like my mom would say, "Oh, you got to wear the sweater. Grandma's coming over." And it's like it was short on my, you know what I mean? It was short on my
Yeah, it's
arms, and it just
showed
was
off
a
your mid.
not a very good looking sweater. But it's memorable because yeah, yeah, it's memorable because she actually put work into it, and it's kind of my fault because like when I would open up the sweater I've ever had, like thank you, Grandma. Do you know what I mean? So that entices her to keep making this sweater year after year. But I couldn't have the heart to say enough's enough. You know what I mean? Or I don't like it.
Yeah. It just warmed her sweetheart. Oh man, that's amazing.
Exactly.
I love that answer. Next question. Josh Foote wants to know what are some of your influences despite the genre?
Despite despite like the hip hop genre, is that what he means,
That's
kind
what
of?
I'm guessing. Like, so no matter what the genre of music is, what's one of your biggest influences?
Ah. Well, I think a lot of people know that Yas and I draw from like every every genre. I'm a huge Black Sabbath fan. Metallica, the album Master of Puppets was a huge influence, especially musically and how we kind of create our music. The way they would use melody. So I'm a big fan of Metallica. I like a lot of old school like R&B as well. Dude, it's hard. I can name a billion, but every genre I find has something really super cool to offer. So that's my answer.
Yeah, no, it's I like it, man. It's a good answer, and anybody that listens to your music kind of gets that. They could just see it's influenced by so many different types of genres, and it's not like you know you listen to some rap albums, and you know that they never listen to any other type of music.
Totally, right? And it's like with us, you could really tell in terms of the structure of a song. Like a normal hip hop song has the same structure. It's 16 bar verse, hook, 16 bar verse, hook, bridge, outro, hook. Uh, Us, it's kind of we kind of build our songs in a kind of a rock structure, right? Where it's kind of there's no specific way to build a song for us, and we kind of stray away from the traditional uh, hip hop way of building songs, even though I was heavily influenced from that school. But yeah, I think it's cool just to try new things, right?
Yeah, 100%. Next question, Jonas C. Cameron. Would you ever consider going on tour in Canada?
Yeah.
No, never.
Uh, Shout out. Good question. Probably asked that question because we haven't done it in a while. But for people who know our history, we've toured this country back and forth probably about, I swear, about 15, 20 times, like hitting every single big city, small city. Of course, we would love to do it again. And when the right opportunity arises, we will. We're actually excited about it, especially with Dead Celeb. We've toured a lot in the U.S. and Europe with the Dead Celeb project. Project-wise, we got to tour a lot in Canada, so we'd like to get back to doing that. So, good question.
I like this question just because of the sarcasm within the question. Mark Ferris, would you ever consider doing an album similar to, oh, I don't know, Project Wise? That's the way I would say it. Oh,
Well, I've
oh,
seen
I
that.
don't know.
Yeah, and I seen it. And he posted a video of Room to Breathe or whatever. I think what he means is would I ever consider using like a live band, like building an album like that? Probably not. Um, that was a while back, and while it was a great experience for that time, I just think we always like to move forward. Will I ever use a band again? I can't really say. I don't know. How about I say 50-50 on that? Because you never know. I don't want to say no. Good question
Anything's
though.
possible.
Anything's
No,
possible.
it is. And I like the sass within the question. Um,
Yeah, me too.
uh, Larry LGI, why not try Warp Tour next year?
Another good question. For once again, for people who know our history, we've done Warped Tour probably 3 times uh, in Canada and in the U.S. It's actually one of our favorite tours to do. It's also one of the hardest tours to do. Grueling wise, it's a very difficult tour to do. It's fucking super hot, and you're in the heat from 7 in the morning to like midnight. But super fun experience, and yeah, I will probably one day be back on Warp Tour. I'd love to go. It's changed a lot though. Warp Tour has changed in terms of what kind of acts they have on their bills now. It's kind of a little bit more mainstream and not as punk rock or hip hop orientated as it was before. But I would love to get back on Warp Tour.
Absolutely beautiful. And once again, like I want to say thank you guys so much for asking the questions because it's fun for us to answer the questions. It's fun for me to ask these guys the questions. And, anything you guys could think of, don't be scared to ask us because we're not afraid to answer those questions. So that's it for the questions, Mr. Bobby McIntosh. And that's pretty much it for the show. How'd you enjoy this entire experience?
I enjoyed it. Feels good to be back, Cliff. Conversating, me and you, that chemistry. Yeah, no, it feels good to be back, right? And I love doing this show. You made a good point. I like corresponding with our audience and our fans. That's our favorite part. You know what I mean? Like we try and make it as interactive as we can. Uh, we want to make it even more interactive. So it feels good to be back. And those 2 weeks we were gone literally felt like a month. So
Yeah, it did. It's
awesome.
crazy. I guess that was kind of, in a sense, let's call that our summer holidays from the show perspective. That being said, we're not going to be going on holidays anytime soon. We're going to be back here next week, same time, same bat channel, same bat place. I don't know, just wanted to say that. 8 o'clock, 8 p.m., we're going to be here. We're going to be live. So come back, join us, ask us questions, and enjoy the ride. Thank you so much. Bobby, I love you.
Love you too, brother. Thanks to everybody who tuned in. And I guess we're gonna hit patios now.
Yeah, let's go find some patios on behalf of Bobby McIntosh and our boy Yas the Lad of Dead Celebrity Status. Their album, The Throwaway Kids, is out now. Go out and get it or buy yourself a shirt or get both or, do whatever you want. Really, I don't want to tell you what to do. My name is Cliff Skeletor, your host, Misfit Mondays. Have a beautiful day. Peace.
Peace.
I